Hi Capricorn, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. This is going to be a general reading for mid-December 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing a check-in. And I'm just going to start off by looking at what pattern is showing up for you this month. Well, in the middle of the month actually, that you're going to be seeing at the end of December. And I'm going to start off with the Tarot of the Abyss, and I'm going to clarify it with the Erenberg Tarot. So just probably one announcement I wanted to make for you is that I think I'm going to be doing a little switch up as far as how I do my readings. Now in the past, if you've been following me, I do a monthly reading for all my signs, and I also do a mid-month reading. So I thought that I would shake it up a bit, only because I've just been thinking about it for a while. I'm going to try something different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out readings for each sign, but I'm not going to do monthly readings, and I'm not going to do mid-month readings. So your reading may come out, maybe 3 times a month. I'm just going to kind of put them out randomly, in order, I guess. And I mean, there really is no order to them. It's just going to come out. I'll have a little checklist or something, but yeah, so it's going to be random, and your reading will come out, and a few days later another reading will come out for another sign, and that's how I'm going to do it, rather than do 12 of them all at once. And we're going to see how that works out. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out right now by asking for a particular pattern that's showing up in your life. So here we go. We have the Queen of Swords for you. That's the pattern. And then I want one card for what aspect from your shadow is driving this pattern. Now, what you need to realize before I pull this card right here, what card is driving this pattern right here, the pattern that's showing up is your outer world. It's your conscious world. It's what you're completely aware of. And I sat here now, if I were to talk to you, you would tell me that, yeah, this is a pattern. I've seen it before. It's showing up again. So what you need to be aware of is that your outer world is a reflection of everything that's sitting in your shadow and what is coming up for healing. And so we are going to be doing some shadow work. And if you're unfamiliar with how to do shadow work or what it is, I've left a really good video for you in my description box below. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it's all about facing your shadow. It's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And so you can have a look at that if you like. So let's look at what's coming up from your shadow that needs healing. That is really driving your outer world here. So, one card, please. Being quite stubborn. Stubborn. Okay, I'm going to just pick these 4 cards, and I guess I will not need any clarifiers. You have the Page of Cups in reverse, the 4 of Cups, and then you have the Queen of Pentacles. As soon as I said it was stubborn, it threw me 4 cards, the Knight of Wands in reverse. It doesn't like when I rush it, but I don't know if it realizes that there's people waiting out there for me to spit out their cards. All right, so what advice does the tarot have for you to begin to heal this pattern this month? The end of the month, actually. One card for that, hopefully. There we go. You have the Wise One, which is the Hierophant in reverse. All right, so we only need some clarifiers here since we have too many over here already. So how about the Queen of Swords? We've got a couple cards. Tell me some more about the Queen of Swords. There's one. And maybe one more. There we go. The Four of Swords with, so you have 2 swords here and the Star card in reverse. How about this Wise one? A couple cards for the Wise one. There we go. 7 of Swords and the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands. All right, so let's begin with what pattern is showing up. What are you consciously aware of? This is your outer world. So Queen of Swords comes up, and so you have 2 sword cards here. So the queens in my deck are our feminine side. We all have a masculine side and we all have a feminine side. It has nothing to do with gender. But the queen, the feminine side has very much been repressed in all of us. Well, in society, actually, for, you know, a lot of years. And so this particular quality of the queen, of the feminine side to us, has to do with the sword. And the sword is all about our authenticity and who we are. And, you know, getting back into our body and starting to find out who our true self is. Because I think, you know, we grow up with people telling us who we are, and we end up putting all these masks on because we have to hide who our true self is. We push who our true self is, and we put it away in our shadow. And so right away, this Queen of Swords is coming out as kind of like an invitation, or asking you to, you know, look at who your authentic self is. And so I'm wondering here if this is the pattern that's showing up, is where you're trying to, I mean, oftentimes we can look at ourselves in the mirror and we can say, like, who am I? Like, what am I here for? Who am I? And maybe that's the pattern that's showing up, where you're kind of questioning, you know, what am I doing here? Who am I? And then your Four of Swords comes in right after that. And the Four of Swords talks about somebody that is, you know, the swords, again, swords talk about our mental energy. It's our mental body. And oftentimes we really can be very much up in our heads and spinning in our heads, and it just gets too much sometimes. And so it looks like you're needing some rest here. Maybe you're exhausted. You know, it is December, and you know, maybe you're exhausted of these things that are spinning in your head, maybe the things that you tell yourself, but you're needing some rest here with all this sword energy that's going on here. And you realize then the Star card's coming up here, and the Star card is in reverse, and it's really when the Star card comes up, it's a card of healing. It's a card of real going inwards and really wanting to heal. And there is some resistance on your part because it is in reverse here. And so I'm wondering here if you realize that, you know, there's some real inner going, you're feeling this need to go inwards and take on that challenge of, you know, who am I? Like, you know, what are these masks I've been wearing all my life? And I want to start peeling away at them. And I think that you realize that, well, you know, there's some more healing that needs to be done in order for me. When I talk about peeling away at these masks, I'm talking about more healing that needs to be done. But there's a resistance on your part to doing that. And there could be just a fear. And so what's sitting in your shadow here? Your inner world that really is driving this in your outer world. And so, you know, these 4 cards spit out for me. And the Page of Cups comes in, is the first one that comes out here, and it's in reverse. And so this is, like I said, your shadow. It's what needs healing. And if I had to pick a card right now on this table, that's the most important card on this table, it's the Page of Cups. whenever the Page of Cups in particular, is 4 pages in the deck, whenever the page shows up, we pay attention to this page. Our 4 pages are our inner children. And we can have more than one inner child. I know mainstream psychology likes to say we just have one inner child, but I've been on my own intensive healing journey for a while now, and I know I have more than one inner child. Our inner children hold our memories, hold our trauma, and they need to be healed. And the Page of Cups in particular is the page that you want to get to know and you want to heal, because it is the one that will wreak the most havoc in your life, because it is backed up by the cup of love. And love is the most powerful emotion in the universe. It's the highest frequency vibration in the universe. And you have this little inner child of yours, this Page of Cups. I call it a love seeker. It's the one that needs healing because it spends their lifetime, if they're not healed, it spends their lifetime chasing after that one person that's going to truly love them. And it's trying to, this part of you will continue to repeat the patterns of, calling in or even manifesting, even though you don't realize it, these same people that will not love you, that will reject you, because they're repeating the same patterns in childhood because they're trying to heal. When an inner child card comes up, they need healing. They need to be understood and they need to be listened to. And they're in reverse here because it's blocked. So you have an inner child that needs to heal. And it's part of, it has something to do with you. I think you need to go inwards to heal. And here's the healing that needs to be done. And then right behind it is this 4 of Cups. When you were younger, here's this individual right here. Remember, this is your childhood, or this is your adolescence here, and the things you put away when you were younger. Here's the 4 of Cups, and there's this 4 of Cups that's being offered here. It's like an Ace of Cups being offered to you right here. But then you have these other 3 cups that you're quite comfortable with. It's like you've crossed your arms, and there's another offer here to feel. And when you were younger, I think you put away, you were hurt as a child. It could be, cups of rejection. And there was no way that this individual has put these 3 cups away. And there's like an Ace of Cups here, an offer from the universe saying, do you want to feel? Do you want to feel some more? And I think something happened to you when you're younger where you just kind of went, I'm done feeling. I've been hurt too many times. And, relationships, people hurt you when you're older. And this is what happens, was this inner child comes out right here. When you were hurt when you were younger, this inner child will hold these big, big emotions that you couldn't feel when you were younger. You can't feel them when you were younger. Big emotions like grief and shame and fear, you can't feel those when you're younger. And so you put them away. And here's the Queen of Pentacles here, and here's another queen. You have 2 queens here. So here's another quality of the feminine side to us. And this is the Pentacle. She's opening up this beautiful box and finding the Pentacle, and it's a gift. The gift of the universe that says, we have this Pentacle. It's the body. It's your body. It's you being able to stay in your body, ground, center yourself, get back into your body. When you were younger, you put that away. As a younger page, as a younger child, 4, 5, 6 years old, you would have been completely in your body. And that meant you felt all your emotions. And at one point in time, when we get hurt, when this little inner child of ours gets really hurt and shuts down, we're not in our body anymore. We go right up in our heads, because that's where our ego self is. That's where it's safe to be. We don't feel up here. We feel in our body. And the last card here is the Knight of Wands. And This Knight of Wands, I love this depiction of it. The knights in my deck are what I call our freedom fighters. And they're that part of us that wants to be free from people controlling us, or wants to be free from this pain right here that you felt when you were younger. And it wants to move towards our authenticity. And this particular night is the Knight of Wands, and it talks about our imagination, our creativity, when you were younger as an adolescent. And it's in reverse here. And it's right at the end of your shadow. So I'm seeing here that, what people don't realize is you may have these emotions, you may have big emotions that you've put away when you were younger, that you've repressed. But in our shadow, we also have creativity. We also have our direction. We also have like our true purpose in who you were. And so there's a real need for you to heal this inner child of yours, to heal what they want to say to you about, about these emotions that they couldn't feel. There's something to do with your creativity sitting in your shadow. There's something to do with this direction, with your purpose that you need to go towards. And oftentimes, before we do that, before we move into that next step of where we're supposed to go in our life, our authentic self step, we need to heal these inner children and what's coming up for them to heal. And that's why there's this need here. You're feeling this need to do some real big healing here, to take some time out to heal, because this is what's coming up is your inner child here, your Page of Cups that needs healing. And so how can you start to heal this? What's the advice from the tarot? Well, here's the Hierophant card in reverse, the Wise Man. The Hierophant card in an upright position speaks about this shaman. And he is teaching these two individuals. They're almost like they're sponges. It's called the Wise Man because he has this wisdom that he's sharing with these two individuals here. And they just take in what this shaman, he's a very wise person, and they take in what he says. When you were younger, you did that. You took in what people told you. You learned what was right and what was wrong. And I think there's a part of you that was wired in a certain way. You were wired to not feel when you were younger. It was a dangerous thing to do. And that's why the Star card, this is coming in for healing. It's in reverse here. You have a real block here. It could be a real fear of, opening up that Pandora's box and starting to feel again, because the way you were wired told you when you were younger is don't touch those emotions. They're dangerous and they're scary. They're very scary and I see that it's in that's why it's in reverse, because there's the universe wants you to look at how are you wired. It wants you to begin to rewire what you were told about emotions, because the Seven of Swords here comes in. And the Seven of Swords is a card. It's called the Thief card, and it's a picture of an individual that's running away with all these swords that they've stolen. And swords are our mental energy. Swords are our mental thoughts. And so you have this individual that's ran away with all these swords. All these things that people told them. Imagine when you were younger and all these things that people told you about yourself, and you continue to believe it with this Hierophant card. Here's a shaman saying all these things to these individuals, and they believe it. They're taking it in. They're like sponges. And so when you were younger, you were a sponge. People said things to you. The universe wants you to look at what is it that you are continuing to believe that people told you. When people tell us, there's this big drive here for you to move towards your authenticity with this Queen of Swords here, and take some time out and start to really examine, what do I need to feel? What is it that my younger child was told when they were younger? And then we put on these masks when we grow up, because that real part of us that people told us who we were, that part of us, those thoughts that people told us who we were, they weren't true. The real part of us that was authentic and true, we put that away and we put this mask on. And so the universe is asking you, it's time to peek out from this mask. Take a look at who is behind that mask. Who is your authentic self? The Nine of Wands is the last card that comes out as advice from the tarot. And the Nine of Wands is this individual that has been, and here's again the eye. I can't help but look at these two eyes. They're sitting here side by side, asking you to peek out. The Nine of Wands is this individual. Wands is about our purpose. Going towards this creative side to us. Creative does not have to mean like the traditional meaning of creativity. It can, but it also refers to our true purpose and putting ourselves first and going towards that thing that we want to do. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It can be this small. It's a small, small step. And that's what this healing card is all about right here. It doesn't have to be a big step. It can be a small, small step towards, listening, starting to journal maybe, and talking to your inner child, because the universe is wanting to take you into this direction here. And I can see here that because you've been on this journey for a while, and maybe you've put up a lot of, this card often comes with this wounded, I think it's called a wounded healer. I like to call it a courageous healer. Here you are, this courageous healer. Look at the bandage on your eye. And you have all these Nine of Wands that are lined up behind you. Maybe you've put up some walls. Maybe you need to put up boundaries around yourself. You do what it takes in order to start to heal just this little bit right here. Peek out from underneath this bandage, right? And start to go towards what it is you're being pulled. This Knight of Wands, it's pulling you towards something. And maybe you're feeling it. Maybe you're feeling that strong pull towards something. I want you to start to, the advice from me is to start to really get in touch with this Page of Cups, this inner child that needs to heal. They will tell you things that you didn't know. And so I want you to learn how to journal from your emotions. I talk to my inner children. They tell me things. They tell me memories. They tell me emotions. Things that I didn't know about myself that I put away when I was younger. Because people hurt me when I was younger. And so I'll leave you with a playlist on journaling. And and also my December reading I'll leave you with. Because in case you didn't get a chance to see it, I'll leave you with my December reading. And I want you to have compassion for yourself as you go into the end of December, holiday season for a lot of us. There's a lot of triggering that's going on right now, especially if you're around family members. Have compassion for yourself. Hold space for that little inner child right now who needs healing. And this is the toughest journey, the healing journey, but it's the most important one in your life. So take care, and I'll see you next year. Bye.